Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chairshot Gaming, where today we are talking about authors and them revising their work years down the line, and I am going to keep it 100% real on this episode, because I'm Johnny Homicide.
I'm Ryan Dudley.
And this is Chairshot Gaming. Alright, everybody, welcome back, and normally we kick it off with news. But due to the Tokyo Game Show, which is another video that we posted earlier on in the week, that was kind of your nerd news. That's pretty much the bulk of all that's happened in the nerd culture. So we're going to skip over that. I know. It's the segment that you love.
Yep. It's always 100% professional.
It's the segment that you need. Nerd news of the week. Drink it in, man. So, as we're skipping the nerd news, you mentioned that you wanted to talk about authors and their revisions on their own work years down the line. So if you could elaborate on that, that would be brilliant.
So I was reading Dark Tower for the first time, and I was reading one of the forewords by Stephen King, because there's like 3 of them. And he was talking about how he wrote that book when he was very young, and it doesn't represent what he wanted the story to be about at that time. And it got me thinking about people like George Lucas who go back and just completely ruin what they created. And I just thought it was an interesting topic. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, George Lucas is definitely the king of, going from this is my story to midichlorians in the matter of one heartbreaking movie. Another couple authors who could have done that. Like, who else in your mind sticks out like Stephen King?
Like Neil Gaiman.
Okay.
But I don't ever remember him doing that. Like, so there's authors who don't have a problem doing that, but then there's authors that think once it's done, it's done. It's out there. You can't go back and change it. But, like, I totally understand it. You're not the same person you were, because he started writing this book in, the 70s?
Yeah.
That's very different from his revisions in 2003.
Yeah, because that's the crazy part. Like, when you're so young, you have the idealistic nature to you, but it completely changes like 35, 2 years down the road. Like, it can change at any moment. Your entire outlook on the world can just be changed in the matter of like a flick of a switch.
And with him, he wrote this before he got ran over. Like, yeah, that changed him immensely.
If I'm not mistaken, the guy who ran him over, it was a hit and run.
Yeah. And
then he mysteriously wound up dead like 2-3 weeks later.
Yeah, and he bought the car and smashed it with a sledgehammer, which I think is hilarious, because that's something I would do.
I can't wait for the day I run you over in a car.
How about you just don't run me over?
But
then I won't have to put a hit out on you. That is actually funny, because in Sons of Anarchy, Stephen King was in an episode, and he was like a fixer, and he came, and they asked him, like, where's the body? And he just screams, "What body?"
Wow.
I love King. Like,
do any other authors come to your mind, or any other kind of content creators come to your mind when it comes to basically retconning a lot of their stuff?
Well, comics comes to mind, but that's kind of a different scenario, because you got all these different writers doing different things and contradicting the original.
Yeah, that comics are kind of in the class of their own when it comes to retconning or just completely changing an entire thing, because especially in X-Men, this person has the power to create an alternate universe.
Right.
Like,
there's a comic writer, I can't remember who it was right now, but he said how he does not feel comfortable killing off any comic book characters because he didn't come up with them. Like, there's fans of them out there, and he doesn't want to piss anybody off. That makes total sense, because, I get kind of angry when they kill off some of my favorite characters, especially minor characters that aren't superheroes that are not coming back. Like, what's her name? Roy Harper's daughter that they killed and made her like a ghost zombie. Yeah, Roy Harper's history is a little fucked up.
Sounds like it. But then again, Arrow isn't exactly the best thing on TV right now.
But it ain't the worst, though, in humans.
I mean, as you can tell, if you watched, or tomorrow, or whenever, if you go to the newest brainstorm, or the brainstorm that's Invasions of the Inhumans, CJ actually talks about all of that. How the Inhumans got canceled and how he kind of was celebrating it on a video. It's funny as hell. But, yeah, I don't really have a lot of authors that I can see, because, like, even in video games, too. I mean, if you look at Final Fantasy, that's all they did. Is, like, retcon everything. Like, I mean, the first game didn't happen when the second game came out. Like,
yeah, but that was always a thing with Final Fantasy with me. Like, every entry was... The draw of it was every entry is going to be drastically different. Which is why I was okay with 15 going in, but kind of lost me near the end.
Pushing cars.
Chapter 13. Oh my god, that almost broke me. He's so bad.
That's funny. Yeah. So, any other that you can possibly muster up in that brain?
I can't really... Like, George Lucas is the big one.
Yeah, George Lucas kind of, like, really fucked his own fan base up.
I don't have a problem with it if you keep to the spirit of the original, like, source. Even the own creators lose sight of what made their works popular in the first place.
Yeah. You know, they get too big of a head. And,
right.
Like, that's something that I loved about Sunny, is that they finally, like, were getting out of the bar more. And, you know, they weren't having a lot of episodes in the bar. You know, they were creating something new, but sticking to who they are, or who their characters are, while giving it the evolution of a human being. Because, I mean, you know, the alcoholism got worse. Mm-hmm. The sociopathic nature of half the characters got worse. I mean, Dennis went from, like, alluding that he's a rapist to admitting that he may have skins in his freezer. Or like...
Oh my god!
Like he gets super dark, and it's just a gradual, like, period, and that kind of backs up. Like, yeah, they don't really talk about a lot of the old stuff that happened anymore, because there is, like, they made that change in life. Yeah. They made their change in their characters, because their characters were like 20 somethings. Yeah, they're like 30 somethings, and they're just, like, doing the same thing. But,
yeah.
So there's a natural way, and then there's an unnatural way.
Right.
Like, the natural way, like I was saying with Sunny, and the unnatural way is George Lucas's abortions. Homesick abortions. The midichlorian saga.
Too bad he couldn't edit the Christmas special out of existence. Few people have actually seen that and know how bad it is. Like, they know it's bad. They don't know how bad.
I never want to see it, because that's all I hear. It's like the worst thing ever.
It will change your life for the worse. You just no hope whatsoever. You'll turn into Rick, basically, if you watch that. Nobody wants that.
Speaking of shows that, like, retconned everything.
Well, that was kind of the point with that show.
As the episodes progress, too, they just, like... Rick at one point doesn't even know what universe he's in anymore.
It's like a clip show, just clips you haven't seen before.
Oh, yeah. So, top this off, any other authors?
No, well, like he was saying in his book, most authors do revisions as they're writing, except he doesn't. He just goes, and then he comes back like 6 months later and figures out what he doesn't want in it anymore.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's all really I have that on that.
Yeah? Is that it?
Yep.
Is that how you want to play your life?
Yes.
So, Chuckles, we need to get serious for a minute.
God damn it. Why do you keep making me do this?
Because we have to talk about life. You know? Like that thing that you constantly skirt.
Skirt, skirt.
Skeet, skeet. Now, you know, I remember when we were at your mom's house in the back porch talking about, like, just fucking around, talking about, like, starting a YouTube thing, right? At that time, I was in media school. At that time, you were just Chuckles.
Yep.
But it took so long to get to this point, and it took so long for a video to actually, like, technically, what is it, go viral or whatever, or
We're not quite at that point, but for us, relatively.
yeah. I mean, we hit worldwide with the Nintendo Direct video, and I think this is a perfect opportunity to just, like, finally get it out. Like,
Yeah.
I, for one, struggled so damn hard to get here. I was working 60, 70 hours a week and not being able to, like, do anything. Like, I was stuck in the same place, like, not going anywhere. And,
Right.
like, I just struggled so hard to, like, save up money to get this going that, like, I remember right before I quit my second job, it was a Saturday night, and I remember just falling to the ground. Like, in the BP, in the gas station I worked at.
Don't worry, they don't know which one.
Right? At the BP I worked at, and I just remember falling to the floor just crying because I'm like, I'm pulling 55 hours in 4 days.
Right.
This isn't fucking fair. This isn't right. This isn't what I want to do. And that's when, like, it just all started changing. I just couldn't be that person anymore.
Right.
So I got rid of one. And, you know, I put a lot of time and effort into this, and it's like at a point where, yeah, I don't exactly have the best, like, I have very stable and very good living situations, but it's not where I want to personally be. And even though that sometimes is a hindrance on who I am and my mental capacity, I guess, or my mental being.
Yeah.
The videos with B-Man, the round table turnabout, right? What was that? Yeah, the round table turnabout, and everything going on, it just, like, it makes me happy. Like, it keeps my mind occupied on the fact that, like, I'm trying to build a fucking future with so many different people, because there's so many people in my life that have something to say,
Right.
or interested in something, and they want to be out there, but they don't exactly have a place. So I'm offering them, like, what do you want to do? Don't ask me, what can you do?
Right.
Ask yourself, what do you want to do? What do you want to put out there? What do you want to put your life towards? Like, because this is all this is. Like, we're putting our life and our energy towards this to create something new. And it's getting to the point where it's going to soon take off.
Right.
We're hoping. And, you know, I want people to still, like, be like, oh, I want to do something. I want to do this. I want to do that. And know that we're up for it.
Yeah.
Personally, me, because I, like, even though I do 100% of the production work with the editing program,
Yeah.
like, I still, like, sit there and I'm just like, yes, this is what I want to do, because I'm constantly learning.
Right.
I'm constantly achieving new heights, I'm learning new things. Like, there's people that have chimed in and told me what I could do better and what I need to stop doing. And, you know, that's the kind of stuff that, like, I've been waiting for and I want and I need.
Oh, yeah. And this has helped me out a lot. Like, if you had told me even a year ago I was going to be putting my face on the internet doing stupid YouTube videos, I would have told you were crazy.
Right? But, like, it was that conversation that we had on your mom's patio porch thing. But yeah, and I just remember, like, there was other people who wanted to get involved, but they wanted to change what we wanted to do. And while they seemed like good ideas to, like, initially get out there,
it wasn't what we wanted to do.
It wasn't what we wanted to do.
Right.
Like, we could have been here, like, months ago, or maybe even half a year ago, but that wasn't what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
At least not for me, more or less.
No, this is exactly what I like. How we're doing it now is how I wanted us to be. Like, just from the start, just go. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. And, you know, it just helps me to know that I have a strong backing with friends, because we have 3 people in here that have been helped with production today alone. We shot 2 videos. We have a trailer on the way. Jimmy is always here for every one of our shows in the background, busting his ass by sitting on his ass, but everybody in the room sitting on their ass. But like, this is the time that like fan interaction would be amazing. Yeah. And we do get some fan interaction, don't get me wrong. But it's just like a weird, somewhat like blessing to know that like through everything that has happened in life and everything that I've personally been through, that at this point in time that I'm the happiest that I've been in maybe like a decade.
Oh yeah. I have never had my shit together so much than I do at this present moment in time, and I still don't have my shit together. Let's not get that mixed up here. Like, it's just now is best case scenario,
right?
Like, I didn't think I'd be moved out of my mom's house doing a fucking podcast on YouTube. I think it's awesome.
And, you know, there's a lot of people who watch this that aren't exactly, the nerd in the nerd culture at all. I mean, everybody has something, but a couple people have said they only watch it because, you know, it's me and we're friends and stuff like that. And that's awesome. Thank you. But, like, I'm just wanted to give them something more. Like, give them something that maybe they can, like, actually like. I don't mean that they don't like, but something more than nerd that they can like actually be more involved in.
Their brand of nerd.
Yeah, their brand of nerd. Truth nerd. But yeah.
Everyone's a nerd of something, even if they deny it. Like my brother, I'm always telling him he's a car nerd. He's like, I ain't a nerd. Cars are cool. Like, you're still a nerd. Like,
nerd.
You like cars way too much. Like, just like I like Star Wars and comic books way too much.
Right.
Like, I will yell about this shit on the internet, and I do not give a fuck about politics. Like, don't get me involved. Like, I'll keep an eye on what's going on just so I'm sure when the bomb's going off by my head. But yeah, I'm not engaging.
Don't be tweak.
No. Innocent child.
Oh yeah, South Park came back for what, season 20, 19, whatever.
21.
And it's been really good so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of why I needed the whole reel thing. Is just like, I needed to get out there because, like, even though this is more or less like a special, like 100 episode, like how we got here and everything, which we may touch about, like we may get all of the show hosts together for the 100th video or something, and just really like get involved and really kind of preach our life stories.
Yeah, who knows? We might have 10 different shows going on at that time. Right? The way it's going now.
There's 17 assholes in a room. This room's going to be hot. It's going to smell like ball sack. And maybe some clam juice.
Right.
But yeah, I think this is a good place to actually just kind of like end it. Yeah. I'm not saying the show.
Wrap it up.
Wrap the shit up. Sell the lights, sell the camera, sell the mics. We're done. We hit our peak. It's all downhill from now. But yeah, I want to say thank you to everybody who made Chuckles, me, Jimmy, and everyone associated with Chairshot Gaming go worldwide. I mean, it may not have been that many views, but there was a lot of countries who were able to see us. And even though we're not, the best, we don't have the best setup, we don't have this professional freaking studio. It's a room.
Yep, just a room.
It's a room, and we don't have that much space to do like different angles and stuff like that, but people are still watching.
Yep.
And that's big to me. And it's big that people from was it Brazil, Bulgaria, Portugal, Netherlands,
Jesus.
Germany, like Chile, Japan. Japan is like our second most viewed country in the world.
That makes sense. For the video, that makes sense.
Freaking nerds. But no, I'm talking about like
just
overall.
altogether.
We get a lot of Japanese traffic, and yet again, it may be people's browsers, yada yada yada. But we're still getting those numbers, and that's important to me. But I do want to say thank you to everybody, and if you like this, what we're doing, please, please, please subscribe. We are trying to reach 100 subscribers so we can get our own custom URL for Chairshot Gaming, so we don't have to sit there and put in www.youtube.com/channels/UKRF57298. It would just be nice if it was like www.youtube.com/Chairshot Gaming.
Yep.
But yet again, like, subscribe, comment, and share. And closing thoughts?
Yeah, just thank you for everybody that's been on this journey. It's like just started. It's like we just left the Shire. That's it.
Is it because you just watched The Hobbit?
I watched like 5 minutes of The Hobbit. All right.
And you mentioned the Shire.
So what else? I mean, I'm going to say, I guess I could have said Tatooine. That would have been more appropriate.
Chuckles.
There is a bug up there.
There is a
bug. What do you know?
Huh. All right. Peace. This has been another episode of Chairshot Gaming. Thank you for watching.